Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel. And here we have our favorites, our favorite couple, Tim and Angela. While Angela waits in that cushy room for Tim to go beg in the car for their daily rent because he'd rather sit on here for 4 hours in the morning begging instead of going beating the streets looking for work. Go look for work instead of sitting on TikTok begging. Let's
Letters
watch.
out to several different places. My wife did it. I accidentally let it slip where I was working, but there's a few other places that has gotten letters also. I went in to put in an application at the Dollar Tree, and when I turned it in, the guy told me, he said, "Hey," he said, "I've gotten letters about you," and it's like he goes, "I just threw them away." He goes, "'Cause you don't work here," and
Okay, Tim, you made me start this out early. Hey, bowling ball. So other places like Walmart and Dollar Tree have been getting letters about you and telling you about it. What are you, a celebrity in that town? That
I was like,
mm-mm.
"Okay." And he's like, "I got two." Walmart got some and turned them into the police office. They're about unaliving me and anybody else who's there. So the nut job who sent the letters is just that, a right out nut job. I agree with you, Space Cadet. It's like, Dottie, I was at the Dyersburg store 793. That was our store number, was 793. So, like I said before, I can't say anything bad about that crew at the store. That crew was so good, like high 40s, 48. That's the perfect day. Uh, and I still wore shorts in that weather. You know, that's that's the beautiful time of year for me. So yeah, a lot of those viewers are troll accounts. I mean, they're just flat out troll accounts. Um, so because when you get like I am $60 short from covering our hotel room for the day. It's me and my wife, and our little fur baby.
I think what makes me the angriest about him is instead of sitting for 4 hours in the morning on TikTok begging for a 70 bucks, he could be out looking for work, putting in applications, asking to do odd jobs. Whatever happened to you doing yard work? That's what you said you were doing last year when you were doing the same begging for over a year, almost every day. It's disgusting.
You too, Britt. Um, and any help towards that would be appreciated.
And just to clear one thing up, I'm not calling him a bowling ball because of his weight. I'm calling it because he's stagnant and he sits in his car and begs for money instead of getting up and looking around for jobs. And you hear him breathe and he's so unhealthy. He needs to look after himself.
Thank you, Apple user. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. Like I said, and if we have to stay in the car, we'll just have to stay in the car. It's staying in the car is not an ideal situation, especially when you have to use the restroom. You've got to eat. You've got to, every time you got to go to the restroom, you got to drive somewhere to go. There's no chance of getting anything you can warm up in a microwave or use the air fryer for. So it's all just, Hey, Ashley.
What I don't understand, if I would have been in this situation this long, I would have got me a really nice tent in one of those campgrounds that have showers because they have showers. And that's where I would have planted my butt till I got saved some money. But that's too, they can't do that. That's not good enough for
So,
Angie.
but we've stayed in the car before, so we know how it goes. Lord, if you find something, it's not really the rent; it's getting it going. It's application fees to get, for them to run your credit and all that stuff to see if you can even get a place.
And the reason why he's stuck in motels is because he can't qualify for any apartments because he's left them in disarray, disastrous, nasty shape. He's gotten evicted for non-payment and they leave him trashed. They trash them. So they're known around there. That's why I can't rent nothing but a
Then
motel.
it's the first and last month's rent. Then it's a deposit. Then it's if you got a fur baby, it's a deposit on them. So it's the situation where it's like rent. We could find a 1-bedroom apartment for like $600-700 a month. In some places, it's just you go to apply. The one place I'm looking at apartment buildings right now that we applied for. I spent $50 for an application fee just to get told that I didn't make enough money because they wanted me to make 3 times the amount of the rent in a month. So the rent was $700, and that was with the fur baby deposit.
So between the both of them, they can't even come up with an income of $2,100 a month. That'd be two $10 part-time jobs, $10 an hour part-time jobs. My 20-year-old son works at Home Depot, working his butt off, and he makes $1,600 every 2 weeks.
Every month, 50 extra bucks every month for her. So they wanted me to make $2,100 to be able to be considered to live there. Excuse me. And then they wanted first and last month's rent, $1,400, and then they wanted a $500 security deposit. So now we're at $1,900, and then they wanted an extra $200 for the deposit on the fur baby, and then $50 extra a month on the rent for her. So it was $2,100 to move into a 1-bedroom apartment that I'm looking at right now. So, and yeah, but I didn't have $2,100, and it's not like I'm walking up and paying $2,100 for a hotel at one time. So, Rando, I agree with you. And I paid $70 to a place called Rental City down here for theirs just to get told that my credit wasn't good enough, and if I could come up with a co-signer on my lease, they would let me rent a 2-bedroom apartment.
Carrie, RoboCop Ron, why haven't you co-signed for your bestie here? Get him into a place because you're on here helping him beg every day. RoboCop Ron's been kind of quiet, but I've seen him pop in lately and giving you support. Why don't he co-sign for you?
For $900. That was $900 plus $450 for the deposit, plus a one-time $300 non-refundable deposit for Juju. So we're running at $1,750 for that one. And I didn't get any of this money back from the applications. I put in $210, I think it was, worth of application fees to ever be told that I didn't make enough money when I was working or I didn't have good enough credit.
You don't have good enough credit because you've been evicted all over Dyersburg, Tennessee. That's why you've been evicted and leaving places trashed. That's why you can't get into. That's why you're okay with a hotel.
So when I'm sitting here looking at like, what do you do? I'm in a situation where I'm paying so much for a hotel. Then we gotta have gas. We gotta have you gotta live. So you're in the cycle of everything you're taking for that. And we've been on the list for public housing for over a year. Yeah. So should just get on here and just beg for the apartment, right?
That Apple user said, "Well, why don't you just get on here and beg for the $2,100 then to cover your because they can't qualify for an apartment without a cosigner. They cannot get an apartment because they have evictions all over. They have a bad reputation
Grandma
there."
of 3, I seen you say fair question and no disrespect, but I didn't see the question. I scrolled up until I found it. At this point right now, no, I do not have any income coming in because I was terminated from my job a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like, at this point, it's like, the Welcome Center is out on Highway 51. It's outside of town. When we have to park and stay in our car, we have a pretty safe place. So, I mean, this week, that's a couple of weeks. So, that's just my time frame of thinking. Money to do it. I had the money in hand to get a place and said, hey, we need this amount of income, or you don't have the credit for it. The income is great, but you just don't have the credit. I've never thought I'd hear the words, you need a cosigner to rent an apartment. We have
So Mr. Tim and Mrs. Angela in their mid-40s need a cosigner to get an apartment. That shows what kind of life they've led for this last 20 years of being together. Couch hopping and apartment lease breaking, these bowling balls.
Talked about moving several times. Right now, we don't even have the resources to move. I mean, it's just, I can say right now, yeah, we want to go to Nashville. I've got 1/8 of a tank of gas. Amber, I'm going to message you when I get off here. Thank you, Apple. But like I'm saying, I think y'all missed what I was saying on that. I don't have the resources to get there. I legit have $10 to my name that someone gave me towards the room. $60 short for the room here. I'm not making it to another town to find the resources on $10, because it still costs money to up and leave, right? It's like I think so many people kind of don't think they don't take that into any type of consideration when they talk about.
If you're really serious, you take your $70 that you get for your hotel, drive the next bigger town, start pounding the pavement, looking for jobs, find anything you can, stay in your car for a couple of weeks and get an extended stay hotel because you can't qualify
Just
for an
leave the
apartment.
area you're in. It takes money to leave the area, you know. And I'm gonna be. We've had several people on here. I am Kim. I just don't know when it's coming. We've had several people on here offer, "Hey, make it here, and you can stay with me, and make it here." And you know, it's not that I don't trust that person. It's just hard to trust anybody off this app. I mean, it really is. It's hard. I understand y'all not wanting to trust me. I get it. Big, I'm going day to day. I mean, that's as honest as I can be about that answer. I'm going day to day at this point. We get today, we take care of today, we get through it, and we worry about tomorrow.
That comment Big said, he goes, what are you going to do? How are you going to worry about tomorrow for your room rent? They just go day by day on OPM, on other people's money, because they don't give a shit. That's why, day by day.
When tomorrow gets here. You know, that's the only thing I can do at this point with that. It's not coming from the same town. Our HR department that does all that stuff is out of California. Apple, I definitely have heard you say save the money.
Apple's been giving you the best advice of all. Stay in your car for 30 days while you're working. Save up every penny other than what you need for food. And then go get you an extended stay hotel. $350 a week. Pay your own way. Save up your money for 30.
Several
She's
times
saying save up your money for 30
I
days.
get what you're saying. I understand it. I'm just you're just really beating the dead horse with that at this point. I understand it. I've heard it. I've seen it. I've read it.
So this bowling ball just said we're beating a dead horse by giving him advice like that because he don't want to save anything. He wants to go day by day on OPM. And that's why you're getting exposed because of these type of answers you're giving. You're beating a dead horse by giving you advice to save your money for 30 days and suck it up and stay in your car.
15 times at this point. Chandler, I tell you right now, the only thing that's kind of keeping me in this town or wanting to be close to it is what little bit of family we still have left. And love them to death. Love their kids, and I even if we moved off, I don't want to move off too far because I don't want to miss them growing up. They have helped us every way they can. They jeopardized their own place a few nights to let us sleep on their couch because their landlord doesn't like sleepover company. I know that's crazy, but it's actually in their lease work where, you know, hey, you've got to approve this for so many nights. And they have fed us when we didn't have anything to eat. They have helped us.
Okay, so I'll end this one here, and I'm sure if anybody watches them, they know he's been on and on and on for about 4 hours every day. So I got tons of footage on them. This is just the most recent from this morning. And I'll be putting up a couple videos a day since I have so much on them. And his cockamamie excuses about why he can't take advice. And just right there, he said you're beating a dead horse whenever anybody tries to help him. But leave a comment, guys. Talk to you later.